Okay guys, this is lesson 6.8, patterns with fractions, and we're going to do this two different ways. We are going to find missing terms in a list, in a series, and then we're going to be given a rule, so we'll start with a term, and then we'll have to find the rest of the missing terms. So let's start with this one. What we need to do is find the difference. What's the difference? It's an answer to subtraction problem. The difference between each term, and then we can find the missing terms. So in order to subtract or find the difference, we have to have common denominators. So here's our steps. The first step is we're going to find common denominators. So right here in my terms, I have 3 1/2, 4 5/6, 6 1/6, and 7 1/2. So our common denominator that we're going to use is 6. So I just need to change a couple fractions. So I need to change 3 1/2. So if I change this denominator to 6, my numerator is going to be 3. And then I have this 7 1/2, another half. So it's going to be the same thing. 6 and 3. Okay? So that was step number 1. We're going to find common denominators. Check, we're done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract the terms. So term is a vocabulary word that we use in this chapter, in this section, and these are all terms. So we're going to subtract them. So we'll start out with 4 5/6, and we're going to subtract 3 3/6. And we get 2 6 and 1. So we have 1 and 2 6. I know a lot of you will want to simplify this, but don't. Leave them as common denominators right now. So, and then let's subtract again. So let's take 6 and 1/6, and let's minus the term before it, 4 5/6. Okay, look what happened. We can't take away 5 from 1, so like we learned today, we need to regroup. So I'm going to take this 6, change it into a 5. I'm going to add 6 6 to 1 6. So now this is 7 6. So I've got 2 6, 1 and 2 6. Okay, looks like I'm doing it right. I have two terms that are the same. Let's do it again and just make sure. 7 and 3 6. I'm going to subtract 6 and 1 6. I get 2 6 and 1. Okay, so look at the pattern. Look what's going on. We found it. 1 and 2 6 is the difference between each set of terms. So to find these next two terms, guess what we have to do? We need to continue the pattern. So we need to add now 1 and 2 6 to 7 and 3 6, and that's how we're going to find this term. So let's do that. 7 and 3 6 plus 1 and 2 6 equals 5 6 and 8. So we've got 8 and 5 6. Now to find this last term, we're going to add our difference to that again. So now we have 8 and 5 6 plus 1 and 2 6, and we'll get 7 6 and 9. Okay, the only problem with this answer right here is we have an improper fraction inside of a mixed number. So we're going to use what you learned in the last video. We're going to change this into an improper fraction, and then we're going to change it back to a mixed number. So 9 times 6 is 54, and then we add the 7. So we get 61 over 6. Okay, and now how do we change this back? We divide. So 61 divided by 6 is 10. 10 times 6 is 60. Subtract, we get a remainder of 1, 6. So our last term is 10 and 1, 6. So we just found all the missing terms. Okay? All right. One other way that your book is going to have you do this is it's going to give you a rule. So our rule is to start at 2 1/3. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. 2 1/3. And then you're going to add 2 1/4 every time. So how do we add 2 1/4 to 2 1/3? We need to find common denominators. So I'm going to change this. I know my common denominator is 12. So I'm going to change this to 12. I times it by 4. So this is 4/12. I'm going to change this to 12. I times it by 3. So this is 3/12. Okay, so I'm going to change my first term to 2 4/12. And then I'm just going to add every time my 2 3/12. So now I have 4 7/12. And I add another 2 3/12 to this one. And so now I have 6 10/12. And then I add another 2 3/12 to find my last term, which is going to be 8 13/12. And look, we've got another improper fraction within a mixed number. So I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm going to change this. So I'd multiply and then add. So 8 times 12 is 96. And then I add 13, and we've got 109. I think that goes in there 9 times. 9 times 12 is 108. Subtract. I get 9 1/12. So my last term is going to be 9 1/12. Here are your extra credit problems. You have to do it 2 different ways for extra credit. So this first one, you fill in the missing term. You have 2 2/3, 3 1/2, missing term, 5 1/6, and then 6. And then this one is a rule. So you need to find 4 terms. So you start at 2 3/4, and then you add 12 1/2 every time.